Hey, welcome back, comic fans. It's Mr. Q Comics back with another haul video. Today I've got a stack of books that I picked up throughout the start of 2022. Some books I bought from a local comic shop, some books from antique malls, and a few nice buys on eBay and my comic shop. So before I dive into the books, if you're a fan of comic book hauls, please go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave me some comments, and let me know what you think. Okay, let's dive into it here. First, we got some books I picked up from my local shop. We've got Black Panther number 22. I forget which volume this is. I think this is the 1998 series. I could be mistaken on that. Pretty decent shape, probably VF near mint range. This is the first appearance of Eric Killmonger as the Black Panther. I also picked up Black Panther number 8. This one, mid 2000s series. I can't remember. I believe this one's from the same volume where Shuri becomes the Black Panther. This is the first appearance of Annika, I think is how it's pronounced, the lead trainer of the Dora Milaje. And I believe there's some speculation related to the Black Panther 2 movie. Okay. Also got some Bronze Age stuff here. We've got Defenders number 18. First full appearance of the Wrecking Crew. This is probably mid-grade copy. This was about $10. It's got a nasty thumbprint there right on the logo. Speculation with the She-Hulk series, I believe. I'm sure I've showed this off in past haul videos. I've been picking up copies of issues 17 and 18 when I find them relatively inexpensive. I don't know if it's confirmed that they're supposed to show up at all in the She-Hulk show, but I know I've definitely seen a lot of speculation related to that. And I also picked up issue 32, first appearance of Ruby Thursday and the Origin of Nighthawk. This was only like $5 and it was there. Another minor key, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. Okay, then they ran, a few weeks later, they ran a 50% off sale on all their DC back issues. So, excuse me, I took advantage of that. I knew there was a couple low-grade keys that I wanted. They had all the big Jack Kirby books in there. So I went ahead and checked it out. Was able to pick up a few books. First, we're going to start with House of Mystery number 217. This is probably VG range. Not a key, but just a cool Bernie Wrightson cover. I love the Bernie Wrightson covers and Neil Adams stuff from DC in this, the 20-cent covers there of the 70s books. Very cool stuff. And like I said, they had a lot of the Jack Kirby stuff, and I was going back because I've been eyeing this, and once it was 50% off, it was a slam dunk. I was going to grab it. I don't own a copy of this, haven't ever owned it, so happy to pick it up. Demon number 1. Again, these are all low grade, but still, to me, worth it. This is probably VG range. It's complete. Good reader copy, and it was $15, so cannot complain about that. Also had Forever People number 1, first full appearance of Darkseid. I believe this one was with the discount there with the 50% off, like $20. So it's good, very good range. I've got another really solid copy I picked up from them. It's probably like an 8.5 or a 9 that I got years ago for like $80 or something. But this one, a nice reader copy. Happy to flip through this one without worrying about damaging it, of course. And since it was there, I grabbed issues 2 and 3. Probably a little bit better shape than 1, but for $5, I think that's what they were. $5-6, something like that. I figured I might as well grab those. And he also had Mr. Miracle, which I did not realize how expensive this book is. Not a character I'm really familiar with. Again, I don't read a lot of DC, never have. So I don't know much about this character, but I was happy to grab it. It was like $35. Very low grade. This is probably the worst shape of all 3 of them. And I also picked up issue 15, which is the first appearance of Shiloh Norman, who later becomes the 3rd Mr. Miracle. Again, low grade. This was like $5, so happy to grab those. Really good, solid reading copies. Those are definitely books that they're held together well, so I could tell I wasn't going to damage them when I do want to flip through them. So definitely good reader copies. All right, different shop. I hit up another local shop that I go in periodically. Haven't gone in there as much since the pandemic started in 2019. They just kind of changed things up a lot. So just haven't had the opportunity to go in. But I did get in there and found another nice copy of New Mutants Annual #2. So this is the first U.S. appearance of Betsy Braddock, who of course becomes Psylocke. Pretty decent shape, probably VF near mint. I think he had it marked as a very fine, but I think it's in better shape than that. This was a little pricey. It was about $50, but I've been picking up this book when I find it cheap, and it's still, to me, relatively affordable for today's market. I was looking at prices this morning, 9.6s. If it's a CGC book, going about 270 to 300. CBCS, you can pick one up closer to 200 for a 9.6. Now, 9.8s, of course, closer to a grand. That discrepancy is crazy to me, but I don't know. I'm a little surprised that this doesn't command a little bit more. Maybe it's because it's just her first US appearance. I don't know, but X-Men books, everyone's thinking the X-Men are coming soon. I keep seeing stuff about Multiverse of Madness. To me, Psylocke was always one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid. Maybe that had something to do with the way that Jim Lee was drawing her at the time I was reading, but very solid book, I think. I've got probably 6 or 7 copies of that now, so. All right, next stop, we've got an antique mall. I picked up a lot of books. I'm just going to highlight a few. This was one I don't get to a lot, probably an hour and a half away. I think I met a guy at a collectible show who I think he bought out the inventory of a dealer who was in that shop, something like that. So anyways, these were all $2. He just had everything marked at $2. He had a ton of stuff. A lot of stuff was kind of moldy, mildewy, a little bit of water damage. So I'm just going to highlight a few of the books I picked up. We've got Captain Stern #1. This is not a book I'm familiar with at all. It's Bernie Wrightson cover. I just remember this cover as a kid being in a lot of comic previews or the kind of the ads in the middle of books, and I don't know why the cover always caught my eye. I was always curious about the story. It's from Kitchen Sink Comics. I've never read it, but for $2, I've never come across it, so it just sparked that memory of being 11 and flipping through these catalogs. So I went ahead and picked it up. If anyone knows anything about the book, leave me some comments down below. But I always been mesmerized by that cover. So for $2, happy to add that to the collection. Of course, we found some cool Adam Hughes covers. I love Adam Hughes artwork, and I love just stumbling across covers that I'm not familiar with. It's one of my favorite things, collecting cover artists, and I don't like buying the stuff on eBay. I like finding it, discovering it in these antique malls or dollar bins and seeing it for the first time. And this is one of those I'd never seen. Bat Babe #2. I mean, spoof comics. I don't know. I've never even heard of this, but I immediately recognized it was Adam Hughes. It's a newsstand copy. I don't believe this commands really any money, but again, I'm just a fan of Adam Hughes artwork. Also got Hammer of the Gods #3. This cover is awesome. I love this. I love the perspective use that Adam Hughes has, and this one's just phenomenal. So again, I don't think it's really worth anything, but I just love Adam Hughes artwork. Okay, next we got a book that was hot during the Loki series for like all of 2 weeks, got hot and then disappeared when the show ended, like so many of these do. But for $2, I went ahead and picked it up. It is the Avengers, the Terminatrix Objective, a newsstand copy. Pretty decent shape, I think, probably VF range. So this is the first appearance of Eliath, I think is how you say it, which, as I recall, was the smoke monster in the Loki series that pops up for the last 2 or 3 episodes. I can't remember now, but for $2, I figured it was worth a pickup. I don't remember what this peaked at, but I don't think it's going for much now. All right, some Silver Surfer Spec books here, which I feel like I showed off in my last video too. I keep finding these recently. We've got issue 81, which is the first appearance or first cameo appearance of Tyrant. And also issue number 82, which is the first full and cover appearance of Tyrant. So just another one of those cosmic villain characters that I think if you find it cheap is worth throwing in your spec boxes here. Who knows what's going to happen with some of these characters out of the Surfer run. There's a few minor villains that popped up in this series, which I don't remember if this is volume 3. The one with all the Ron Lim covers anyways. And we've got 117, a newsstand copy, which I've found a few of these over the years in newsstand copies. I don't remember what year this is. 96 it says. So this is the first appearance of the Black Body Surfer. which I remember that got hot a couple years ago. Haven't heard much of it since then. But all right, last book from that antique mall. Again, another book got hot during WandaVision with Monica Rambeau. This is Avengers Unplugged, number 5. First, I think she changes her name to Photon, or takes on the name Photon in this book. This one got hot right during WandaVision when she first gets her powers, I believe. I don't know if this is still... It goes for like $30 now, I think. It was going for a lot more back then, I believe. I think the hotter book now is the Mighty Avengers one, where she takes on the name Spectrum, I think. I could be wrong. So regardless, Spec book tied to Monica Rambeau, who we obviously know is going to be around at some point again in the future. I think there's... People think maybe she was in the Doctor Strange 2 trailer. I'm not sure if it was her or Superior Iron Man, but we will find out. All right, last few books. The bigger books, of course. Different antique mall. Amazing Spider-Man number 78. Really low-grade copy. You can see bad tear through the price box there, taped up. But it is the first appearance of the Prowler. Probably good range. It's complete. I checked, of course, before I bought it. This was like $36, so maybe goes for a little bit more than that, but to me, pretty solid Spec book. Any first appearances, especially if it's early Spidey, and you're spending $30, I'm going to take those home every day. And also got this, same antique mall, different vendor. Some guy on the top floor, he just randomly puts out mostly DC stuff. I'll have like 40 books, and surprised this was in there. I don't know a ton about DC, but we've got Doom Patrol number 99, first appearance of the Beast Boy from the Teen Titans. Probably the good range, but still, this was like $18, so great buy there. That is it for my local hunting. The last few books are all online purchases. We'll start with a couple of really nice pickups from eBay. The first book we have is Daredevil number 7. This is the debut of the red costume, and I believe this is a Wally Wood cover, actually. So obviously eBay can be expensive. I've said this in many videos in the past, I always target auctions that end at obscure times and from lesser known sellers or even new sellers. This was a brand new seller. I took a chance. This ended at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, East Coast time, so not a lot of competition for it. I don't believe the seller even had any feedback. Pictures were not really detailed. Description just said fair. So I took a gamble. I won it for like $75, I think, total with the shipping. So it is complete. It's in the good range. Obviously, it's low grade with the tears and all of that, but still really good buy on this. This book goes for quite a bit of money. Very happy with that. And this was just a Spec purchase for me. I have another copy of this. We got Hulk 271, first appearance of Rocket Raccoon. This was like $110, I think, with the shipping, but it's probably high VF range. Again, an auction, not a weekend early morning, but it was a midday on like a Tuesday. So another solid time to be looking for books. I think there's a chance this book will go up with the Guardians 3 movie whenever that comes out. I'm pretty sure High Evolutionary is confirmed for that movie, and I assume it's going to tie into Rocket Raccoon's backstory, and that potentially we'll see some sort of spike. So I thought it was a worthy pickup here for a Spec book. Last two are not Spec books. These are for my personal collection. I was just on a kick of buying or hunting for Golden Age, so I actually hit up my comic shop and found a pretty decent deal on this Tomb of Terror number 10. I don't own any in this series. This is Harvey Comics from 1953, a Lee Elias cover. They had it marked as a good, very good. I find that they typically really undergrade. I've sent some books to them for consignment, and I am always way off on my grades. So I think they're really harsh graders. So I was pretty happy with this. I think I got this for like $186 with all the fees they tack on and shipping. So really nice looking book. Love the colors. Great artwork in this series. I think it's 15, 16 issues. I can't remember, but fantastic pre-code horror book here. So happy to add that to the collection. And the final one, I showed one of these off. I only have 2 issues in this run. It's a Golden Age series. Very tough to come by. At least I never find it. in local shops, of course. Tough to find them on eBay as well, but some guy had an auction on a Sunday night. Again, going against my own rule, trying to find auctions that end at off times, but again, got to make an exception for books like this. So Planet Comics number 55, Fiction House, 1948. It's a Joe Doolin cover. This one, if you look this up, the colors are way off from what I see, online in other pictures. I don't know if it's faded. It doesn't appear faded, but some of the colors do. So it's really odd looking. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's a pretty decent book, probably VG range. I did pay up for this. I think I won it for like $250. So not sure if I overpaid or not. Really tough to get comparable sales on some of these Planet Comics books, but just been on a kick for the Golden Age stuff, and you do not come across these often. So very happy to have added that to the PC. So that is it for the haul, guys. Again, if you're a fan of these types of videos, please go down below, hit like, hit subscribe, and again, let me know what you think about these books. Talk to you soon.